Hey fellow racers and car nuts like me, Vin here again with another video. We're always talking in the chat rooms about our personal cars and things like that, and I'm a big car fan, so I was telling people about my car. It's a 68 Cougar, so I thought I'd show it off. Here it is. So this is a barn find, actually. Very low miles, 21,000 original miles. It has some pretty good options. It has a 302 4-barrel. It also has factory disc brakes. Pretty rare option for that. Right now it's in this paint booth. This is a runner. This is a driver. We used to drive this around in the summer, and this is kind of what we do. And I bought this paint booth, and I thought, because it actually had some fender damage, hood damage, and a little bit of core support damage. The core support was fine. I just liked the look of something nicer. It was a little bent up, and I didn't really like that. So anyway, threw these other fenders on here, which I was just going to get ready to paint. Another interesting note about these Cougars and these fenders. Now, Mustangs of the same era are typically all rusted out. And the reason is because they didn't have the undercoating that the Cougars do. The Cougars, they spray an undercoating and a sound deadener all underneath all the body inside the fenders. In fact, as I go to take off the original fenders, there was so much undercoating on there. You know, they put the car together and then they spray that, so I couldn't even find the bolts. And once I located them, then it was just a matter of getting a grinder up in there and grinding off all that undercoating so you could even remove them. So, interesting side note for those of you that want to pull off fenders. But anyway, it's in really good shape. It was a vinyl top car. The top's in really good condition. So I'm sanding. I'm just going to just remove the vinyl top, and it turns out I might have to put the vinyl top back in, which means I'll have to pull out the windows. Like I said, I wasn't going to restore this. I was just going to paint it. Well, plans change. You know how that goes. So I get to sanding, and I come down here, and I find that, and I'm like, okay. So now the plan changes, but the rest of the car is in pretty good shape all the way around. There's no rust. There's no dents. There's no body damage. All the fenders straight. Interesting enough, this is really kind of weird. The fenders and the hood that I replaced on here were actually a little bit different size. But anyway, so the car runs good. The headlights work, actually. But there's a big canister that goes underneath here that makes it so I can't show you they worked with it, because that's actually what makes the headlights work. And it was really complicated to get that fender off and to get that canister out. I'm not sure how they put that together, but anyway, the canister sustained a little bit of damage, so I have to repair that. It is a 302 car, and it runs, and I put a lot of work into this. This is the new core support, just for looks, you know. Like I said, we drive this around, you know. This is for taking to shows and different things. Of course, now it's not in any condition to go do anything cool at this moment. But let's see. So what do I do to the engine? Pretty much everything. Summit Racing is where I've got, because I've got a brand new fuel tank, a fuel system all the way up. So I put their stickers on there. I love Summit Racing. You know, the cool thing about Summit Racing is they deliver within just a few days, and they bring a small private box van, boom, right to your door. It's the greatest thing ever. So I bought most of these parts through Summit. Tough stuff, chrome alternator and water pump, complete new Edelbrock 600 4-barrel. What else? Oh, Edelbrock high flow chrome fuel pump. You know, you gotta have some chrome. It is an original points car. I thought about upgrading to electronic ignition distributor, but instead of that, it turns out there's something else you can do. There is a nodule that I was able to buy, and you can see that kind of right there, and so that's just, actually the nodule itself was more expensive than a whole electronic ignition distributor, but so I kind of left it in that original type of deal for that. But so it's electronic ignition now. I haven't started for some time. I'll tell you what I'll do. We will throw a battery in here and see if she runs. Kind of embarrassing if it didn't. I suppose. Here, so I did put the Ford Racing on. I was actually looking at valve covers and whatever that said Cougar on it. It's kind of cool, but it is a Ford motor, of course, and you know, they came with a lot of good options in here. Actually, it's 68. Some people think it actually only the base model was a 302. 289 wasn't actually available in 68 according to my sources, whatever. But you know, there was the ones out there with the 390 and at the GTs and the XR7s, whatever. But so let's see. She does run. That stuff's sitting there. He's out here now. One thing to remember, these old cars, they have a different kind of choke system. So when you start this thing, this one had a manual choke. It's still there, but I bypassed it with the new carburetor and with the electric choke. But when they do start, they like to, you know, it's a choke, so it revs up until it warms up. Now, hopefully I won't be too embarrassed if it don't start. There she is. Hasn't ran for a while. So anyway, everybody, this is my car. That we all talk about our stuff on there, and so I thought I'd give you a peek at her. And when I get it all painted, and oh, one more thing. Another reason is that I'm not taking it and doing a whole restoration is because the interior is just in amazing condition. Everything works, even the door lights. I mean, it's just a really functional car. And I, you know, of course, I put a new steering. It's my hot rod. I put a new steering wheel in it. You know, I like to have this car as a hot rod. I've always used it as that. I guess someday I might restore it completely, or maybe one of my kids will, sometime down the road. But anyway, there it is, man. My pride and joy, 1968 Cougar. Anyway, Vintimidator out. Peace.